Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome to Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Skoda's e-mobility. My name is Matthias and today we talk about the changes and adjustments to the ENYAQ and the ELROQ with the upcoming model year 2026, which will start after the summer factory holidays in Mladá Boleslav. What did they change? Are there interesting things in these new packages for you? And what to expect? Well, this video will give you first answers. Here we go. Changes in the equipment of the ENYAQ and the ELROQ with the new model year. Those who are not familiar with the model year policy of Skoda, I want to give you a brief explanation. Skoda changes the model year of their cars after the factory holidays in the summer. The factory holidays are in July, so starting with August you have the new model year. Meaning when we now are in August 2025 we will see the model year 2026. And this comes with several changes in options, packages, pricing, all that kind of stuff. And it could be a lot of or just a bit, depends on what Skoda is thinking about. And this is independent of facelifts or some other things going on. And this is not all. There is also another change in a model year in spring of the year following. Yet then they don't go up with the year's number. So you can say now in August 2025 you see the first iteration of model year 2026, and in spring next year you see the second iteration of model year 2026, and so on. And now I've got already information about the changes with the ENYAQ and the changes with the ELROQ. But keep in mind, this is market dependent. It might be that there are slightly different things in your market. Also, I found those on the internet because officially Skoda didn't publish this, but they informed their dealers, and that's the way how this went into public. And I'm referring to that, well, it could be that there will be again changes be made or that something of this might not be true, so just take it always with a grain of salt. And now let's start with the changes of the ENYAQ. And the first change with the ENYAQ is related to the automatic closing of the hatch of the boot. Because as of now, you might know if you have that option, you have to tap that button above to close it, use your fob or the lever in front on at the driver's seat, and now as a new function, it can close automatically. The way it works, it goes like this. When the hatch is opened and you remove yourself with the key from the car at least 2 meters away, and after 20 seconds then the hatch will close automatically. At least this is how I understand it. So you just have an open hatch, you go away with the key, and after a certain amount of time it closes itself. I bet this will bring a lot of comedy to every parking lot. As we already know that even kicking it open does not work flawlessly, this could become kind of funny. So let's see how this will work. And the next change is way more important, I guess, to a lot of people. If you want ventilated seats in the front, not heated ones, ventilated, you have to order the Max package with ventilated seats. It's a separate option. This option is now cancelled as they put the ventilated seat into the base option. So if you select the Design Selection Suite or Eco Suite, you already have those ventilated seats. Therefore, I bet they will adjust the price. But the best thing is they also add the ventilated seats to the RS suite, because until now you were not be able to get the RS with ventilated seats, and now you can. And the third thing is we see the return of a new design selection. The return of a new one, well, let me explain. We all might know the Laureen and Clement edition they had a couple of months ago, which is currently not available for order. And the design selection in that beige colored leather is now available again. It's not a complete Laureen and Clement edition, it's just the design selection, which you can now already order. So if you are more into a brighter leather option, you can go with that. Not everyone was happy when they saw the facelifted ENYAQ with all those UDC elements. UDC? Well, that's the internal term of Skoda for the unique dark chrome elements, those matte chrome elements on the car. You also find them on the ELROQ in the interior, as with the ENYAQ, but with the ENYAQ they are really present as they are on the outside, unless you choose a Sportline or an RS or the Coupe version. Yet not everyone was happy with this design decision at Skoda, and not everyone wants to pay the price for a Sportline or an RS just to get rid of it and have them painted in the body color of the car, despite the fact that with Sportline and RS you get the sporty seats and have a smaller selection of interiors. Skoda heard the customer voice here and decided to bring an option to the configurator that you now can choose these parts in the body trim. Just to make sure or be clear here, I did not found this option in every configurator yet. So in the UK configurator it was not present, while in other configurators you can choose this option. So I don't know how it will be in your market. And the changes, well, let's look at the model here. On the front bumper, the UDC element at the bottom of the air intake is gone. This is now body color, and the UDC element above the air intake stays in the UDC color. When we move to the side skirts are now completely in body color, no longer UDC. And when we move to the back, to the rear bumper, well, the color has changed. What was painted in UDC, the upper part, is now painted in body color. And what was painted in glossy black, the lower part, is now UDC. All in all, I think this is quite a better look with the UDC and the body color than it was before, but that is personal preference. But I like it that Skoda now gives you at least the option for choosing body color instead of UDC and not having you forced to buy a Sportline or an RS. Now let's head over to the changes with the ELROQ, with the new model here, because there are plenty of them. First off, the basic equipment got extended. So for the ELROQ 50 and the ELROQ 60, the Climatronic is now standard equipment, no longer additional equipment. And for the 50, the 60 and the 85, the Adaptive Cruise Control ACC is also standard equipment now, and you do not have to pay more for that as additional equipment. And as with the ENYAQ, where I forgot to mention it, the ELROQ also gets a new horn. A lot of people complained about the sound of the horn. Now there should be a new one with a two-tone sound. I'm pretty interested in how that will sound. That's for the standard equipment. Now let's move over to the changes and the new stuff. And as with the ENYAQ, the ELROQ with the automatic hatch also gets the automatic close. If you didn't watch the ENYAQ part of this, well, it's now when you close the automatic hatch, you have to press a button, use your fob, or just pull the lever near the driver's seat. Now it will close when you have the keys with you. You go 2 meters or further away from the car, and after a period of 20 seconds, it closes automatically. The next change is one a lot of people have already asked for. This is the illuminated tech deck, that black plastic piece in front where all the sensors are behind. With the RS you get it illuminated. The first edition had it illuminated. Now you can get it for the 60, the 85 and the Sportline as well. It's not an additional equipment on its own. It is built into the Advanced and the Max package now, and then you have it illuminated. And the next change is solely for the RS model. And you might know this from the Volkswagen ID models, where you have a contrast painting on the roof. So you've got, for example, a red body and a black roof. And this now is also available for the RS. And if you say, well, I have already seen this, you're right. This is also something the first edition of the ELROQ had, with as so so many other parts and stuff the RS now has in series. If you want to know more about that, then look my RS detail video. And now you can have that as an option with every paint except black, because the roof is already black, and energy blue, which is the base paint where you do not have to pay additional money for. With every other you can have that contrast design of a black roof and a colored body. And with that, let's move over to the interior. The design selection suite will get ventilated seats, which were currently not available. Now you have them as like you have them in the ENYAQ. And as same with the ENYAQ, you get the L and K design selection, that beige leather in the ELROQ as well. As we know it from the Lorraine and Clement special edition, the ENYAQ was available as a couple of months ago. These are the changes I know for the ELROQ, so there might be more changes. Something of this could be wrong, so no guarantee for any information here, but I think it gives us a clear indication what will happen with the next model year. So much for the changes with the ENYAQ and ELROQ. Well, some would say it was needed, some would say I would love to have that in my own car just before, but now I already ordered it or already drive it, and some will say, well, this is not much. It's always the same with the model year changes at Skoda. You do not know what will come, but more often it is not as much as people expect, because it's simply a model year change. It's not a facelift or something else. So for some of you, they might be happy now. And don't be disappointed if there is something you would like to have. Just imagine that you now are already able to drive your car. See me with my old ENYAQ. It still works flawlessly, and yes, there is stuff I would love to have. There is always new stuff, especially if we talk about EVs, which change so fast, so often. So don't be disappointed, just enjoy the ride with the car you have, be it an ENYAQ or an ELROQ. And if you're still interested in one, maybe these changes will help to make a decision. And let's see what will really come to which market end of June, starting of August, as all of this information in this video without any guarantee. It's what we call a leak, so it got published before an official statement from the manufacturer. But most of the time this is quite reliable. So let's see what will happen in August. And we see each other way earlier again in the next video, I would bet. And until then, stay full of energy.